parent is not easy, and it may be one of the hardest jobs you ever do. When there's a disruption in the relationship with your child and conflict occurs, this can increase the tensions in the relationships you have with your child. As a parent, you may be left wondering, will I ever go a day without fighting with my child? You're not alone. Every parent struggles with their children sometimes. There are many factors that contribute to the disruptions that occur in the parent-child relationship. And these may include aspects such as, your child's age, their temperament or stage of development, or their sensitivity to emotions. However, we also need to consider our own factors that could be contributing to these arguments that ensue. So these factors, may include things like our self-defense mechanisms or our triggers, or possibly how we respond to situations, or even our ability to cope with the daily stressors we face as parents. Perhaps our roots in our childhood upbringing and our habitual way of reacting or responding impact our ability to think clearly in high-stress situations, or when we are experiencing a confrontation with our child. Don't worry, this is a normal response. As we move through our relationships with our child, you may notice that our own childhood wounds begin to surface as our children inadvertently remind us of these deep intertwined wounds that we have. We can expect our children to act in ways that send us over the cliff at times. This is why it is our responsibility as the parent to steer clear and stay away from that edge. Understanding the reasons why we are arguing with our children can help diffuse these situations and impact how we react to them. It is common for us as parents to feel as though our children are behaving purposely to push those buttons. However, our child's behavior cannot cause our response. Rather, those old wounds resurface through the triggers that we encounter. Let's think about the terminology of that fight or flight response when our body automatically enters that survival mode. And these sensations occur to avoid feeling uncomfortable in the moment. But it is not an actual emergency like our body leads us to believe. How we respond to our emotions is being mirrored by our children. Our children have emotions too. And it's okay to feel hurt, to feel upset, disappointed, or angry at times. But it is also important to recognize how we express those emotions and to do so in meaningful, constructive ways. So for example, rather than react to a situation with your child, be proactive in your responses. Begin to recognize when it's time to take that breather, to take a step away, or ask your child to take a breather too. Take those few moments to calm yourself down. When our bodies are in a calmer state, you're much more likely to respond and with a clear thought rather than responding emotionally in that heat of the moment. This moment of calm can provide opportunity for you to listen to why you and your child are upset, and to examine which of our needs and our child's needs are not being met. So taking a breather does not mean that the issue won't be resolved or long forgotten. Rather, when we're able to provide a clear acknowledgement of the emotions we are feeling, we can then begin to verbalize them with our child and encourage our children to regulate their emotions too. When we are ready to express how we are feeling with our children, it can be helpful to be aware of the tone of voice we use and our choice of words. When the language we use is consumed with highly charged words, we can end up escalating that argument rather than speaking from a place of calm. Most often, though, this involves, giving unreasonable threats that ultimately undermine our authority as parents. Avoid feeling rushed to give a consequence. Take a moment to calm yourself down so you can listen to your child and respond to the child's behavior with respect and reason. Learn to choose your battles and be open to recognizing your own mistakes and taking ownership or responsibility when you may be a part of the problem. If we expect our children to apologize, we as parents also need to recognize when it's time to say sorry too.